We start with a point. Hi, it's Rob Bryanton and welcome back to the Imagining the 10th Dimension video blog. Today we're talking about auras, and so Jason's come up with this nice impressionistic sort of a representation of what it might look like if I had an aura that you were able to see around me. We're talking about poll 28 today and a series of polls that have been happening at the Imagining the 10th Dimension blog. And if you want to read along with this blog entry, down there in the description box here at YouTube, you will find a link that allows you to go back and see the text version of this. The poll question was, some suggest that an aura might be a way of seeing a part of a person that exists outside of their body and possibly connects to other planes or dimensions. Have you ever seen a person's aura? And I have to presume that any regular visitors to this blog have an open mind and even a certain willingness to embrace ideas which are outside of the mainstream. Nonetheless, I have to admit I was surprised to see that 44% of the visitors responding to this poll say they have seen a person's aura, and that's higher than I would have expected. Now, poll 30, which is coming up, on the other hand, asks if visitors have ever had an experience which led them to believe in ghosts or spirits of the departed that carry on after death and somehow have contact with our world. And on that poll, 43% of the respondents said yes. And that's a number that's lower than I expected. Why? Because I only know a couple of people who have seen auras, but I have lots of family and friends who at some point in their life have had some kind of a supernatural experience, which led them to at least be willing to consider the possibility that some part of a person carries on after death. Here's the logic I've worked through with this project and some of the past blogs where I've explored these ideas, which of course are also central to the book this project is based upon. In Information Equals Reality, we discussed how this phrase, which is being used by quantum physicists, also relates to the more metaphysical concepts we're talking about here. Ultimately, genes, memes, and spimes are all ways of thinking about our reality from outside of our limited space-time viewpoint. In entries like Magnets and Souls and Daily Parrying, we looked at projects like Dr. Jill Bolt Taylor's My Stroke of Insight, and the general problems projects like mine can run into. Centuries of training have encouraged scientists to reject anything that acknowledges our participation within the reality that we're part of. Science, they will tell you, needs to remove spirit and the soul from the discussion. Otherwise, you're back in the world of alchemists, intoning incantations over their experiments to ensure their success. And if you look up magic, M-A-G-I-C-K, in Wikipedia, you'll be able to read more about that idea. In entries like I know you, you know me, and you are me and we are all together, we took these ideas even further, into a way of using concepts from quantum physics and Everett's many worlds interpretation to show how we are all connected together. And most recently, in Auras, Ghosts, and Pareidolia, we made the bold suggestion that patterns each of us senses within our reality are always part of a continuum. Pareidolia is the word used to describe patterns our minds perceive within randomness, but since the main function of our minds is to make sense of the disorientingly large amount of input coming into our senses, we should never be too quick to dismiss these perceived patterns. So that's all today. Next time we're going to talk about Poll Archive 29, and the question there was, do electrons have no size? My name's Rob Bryanton from the Imagining the 10th Dimension video blog. Enjoy the journey. Hi friends, just a reminder that you can now buy a 6 DVD set of my video blogs at 10thdimension.com/store.